There are a few different ways to solve quadratic equation problems, but the one that always works and the one that I use is this quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So all you need to do is plug in the values of b, a, and c into this formula and solve the equation, and that will be your answer. The value of x is the answer, and there'll be two different x's, x values. So all you have to do is look at the formula they give you in the question, and here's an example right here: 3x squared minus 5x minus 9 equals 0. Find out where the a is in this formula, where the b is, and where the c is by comparing it with the standard form. And you don't need to worry about memorizing these formulas because they'll be on the formula sheet that they give you. So you find out what a is, what b is, what c is, plug it into this equation, and solve it. So let's do that. You can see that it's already in the order that we want it to be in compared with the standard form. The first value in this equation is 3x squared, and here you see it's ax squared. So you can see that a is next to the x squared here, 3 is next to the x squared here, so a equals 3. The next part is the part next to the x by itself, just x, not x squared, is minus 5x. Here plus bx, so we're dealing with a minus, a negative. So the b is next to the x here, and the negative 5 is next to the x here, so b equals negative 5. And the last part of the standard form is c, the number that's by itself. It's not next to an x, as you can see, and the number here that's by itself is negative 9. So c equals negative 9. Now all we have to do is plug these numbers where they should be in this equation and solve. So we have x equals negative b. So we find what our b is. Our b is negative 5. So negative 5 would be a positive 5. So x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared. So negative 5 squared. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25. Minus 4, this is coming from here, times a times c. So 4 times 3 times c, negative 9. All over 2 times a. A is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So all this over 6. Let's work on this part here under the square root sign. So we have x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times negative 9 is negative 108. So 25 minus negative 108, so it's going to be 25 plus 108, because a negative and a negative give you a positive. So 25 plus 108 all over 6. 25 plus 108 is 133. So x equals 5 plus or minus the square root, don't forget to keep that, of 133 all over 6. All right, the square root of 133, it's not a perfect square, so we're going to have to round and use decimals, is 11.53. So x equals 5 plus or minus 11.53 over 6. Now, because we have a plus or minus here, we're going to have two values of x. So let's do the plus, the addition first. X equals 5 plus 11.53 is 16.53 divided by 6. 16.53 divided by 6 is 2.755. So one value of x is about 2.76, let's say. We'll use 2 decimal places. Now we'll do 5 minus 11.53 to get our other value of x. So 5 minus 11.53 is negative 6.53 divided by 6 is negative 1.09. So our other answer is negative 1.09. And it won't be exact, but we can look at the multiple choice possibilities and choose the closest one to what we came up with. And if you're not sure you did it right, what you can always do is take what you came up with for the value of x, plug it back into the formula in the question, and see if you come up with 0 when you put that in there. So we'll do 3 times what we came up for x, which is 2.76 squared, minus 5 times 2.76 minus 9. So 2.76 squared, which is right here, is 7.62 times 3. So 3 times x squared, what we came up for x squared, is 2.85 minus 5 times x, 2.76 minus 9. So 5 times 2.76 is 13.8. 22.85 minus 13.8 minus 9 equals 22.85 minus 13.8 minus 9 is 0.05. So like I said, because of the rounding, it's not going to be exactly 0 as in the problem, but 0.05 is pretty close. So we can be confident that this x is right, is close enough. And then if we plug if you want to be extra sure, you could plug the other one in as well. So 3x squared, 1.09 squared, minus 5 times negative 1.09 minus 9 equals about 0, close enough when you calculate it. So we can be confident that we have the right answer.